How you doing, everyone? Welcome back. Well, it's time to talk about Mr. Pete Kegseth. Kegseth, Whiskey Pete, uh, Pete Hegseth. That's it. Yeah. Secretary of Defense. You know, the guy who is highly unqualified for the position that he holds. The guy that I personally blame. I hold one person solely accountable for him holding the position that he has. One person. And that is my own Senator, Joni Ernst. Why do I blame her? Because she knew that he was unqualified for the position that he was being nominated to. She had planned to vote against his confirmation, and then she voted for him. Her one vote caused a 50-50 tie in the Senate, which caused J.D. Vance, as the vice president, to cast the tie-breaking vote. So, of course, J.D. is going to go along with whatever Cheetolini wants him to do, right? But Joni Ernst, had she stood her ground and done what she knows to be right, had she done that, we wouldn't have Whiskeyleaks Part 2. Yeah, you probably heard about it. It came out that there is another Signal chat. Keep in mind, Signal is an app that you can download to your phone, right? It is hackable. They say it's secure. It's encrypted. It's secure-ish, but it can be hacked. It is a civilian app. It is unauthorized. And as far as military is concerned, it's unsecured. Well, it can be hacked, so of course it's unsecured. It is not approved military communications. And he has this app on his personal phone, right? Now, we already know what happened previously when it was Mike Waltz, Tulsi Gabbard, Marco Rubio, Pete Hegseth, J.D. Vance, among others. Oh, yeah, and also Goldberg, I can't think of his first name. I want to say Jeffrey, but I could have that wrong. But Goldberg from The Atlantic, you know, a reporter that nobody knows how he got added, even though everybody knows how he got added. Mike Waltz added him. Anyway, that's reliving the past, which we need to remember that. We need to remember that incident. And those individuals still need to be held accountable, which has not happened yet. And what else needs to happen is Hegseth needs to be impeached right now. You know why? Because there was another incident. This one, it was him, his wife, his brother, his personal attorney, at least, that we know of, discussing sensitive, classified military information regarding the strikes on the Houthis. Now, you might say, well, what's the big deal? The Houthis don't have access to Signal, and they wouldn't be able to hack into it even if they could. Okay, first of all, I don't believe that. They could. You know, you're making it sound like the Houthis are a bunch of idiots. They're not. Okay? But let's just assume that you're right. The Houthis don't have access to it. They can't hack into it. All right, fine. We'll accept that premise. The Houthis are backed by the Iranians. I'm pretty sure the Iranian government could hack into it and let the Houthis know what's going on. Russia is a backer of Iran. So the Russian government could definitely hack into it and let the Iranians know, who would in turn let the Houthis know. Or the Russians could just let the Houthis know directly. The Houthis have anti-aircraft capabilities. And, for them to say, well, the mission went off just fine without a hitch, okay, that's all fine and good. But that doesn't mean that it will in the future. We need accountability on this issue. And what I'm asking from you, every single one of you, right? I know there's not many of you. So I'm going to ask two things of you, actually. Two things. First of all, contact your representative in the House and demand impeachment of Hegseth immediately. Contact your United States senators. This is all part of the first ask. Your United States senators, and have them demand his resignation or his firing. And then the second thing that I'm going to ask you to do is get a hold of your friends, your family, people you know, people you don't like, I don't care, right? Contact your friends, your family, and ask them to do the same thing, right? Because I know not a whole lot of people are going to see this video, right? I get that. Which is why I'm also going to ask you to share this video. Like, share, subscribe, please. So if you like, share, and subscribe, right? Everybody who sees this video, ask everybody to do the two things that I just asked you to do, right? And then if that keeps going, right, I may only get 10 viewers on this, right? But if all 10 of you can reach 10 people, who in turn reach 10 people, who in turn reach 10 people, that adds up, right? That's, an exponential growth. I didn't do the math on it. Don't care about the math. I know that it adds up. So, Hegseth has to go. He has got to go. Whiskeyleaks Part 2. Shouldn't have even been a Part 1, but there was, right? Part 1, we could kind of maybe dismiss that as a mistake. I don't dismiss it as a mistake because of the 5 individuals that I named earlier. Hegseth, Waltz, Gabbard, Vance, and Rubio. Of those 5 individuals, 4 served in the military, and 3 of those 4 were officers in the military. Right? With Vance having been a corporal in the Marine Corps, which that's no disrespect to, the lower enlisted, the corporals. I mean, I didn't rank very high when I was in the Army. I was 1 rank above Vance. I was a sergeant. Right? So, no disrespect to any rank. But, 4 people who knew better from military experience, and 1 who should have known better based on the fact that he's Secretary of State and has been a senator for quite a few years. So, I'm not going to ask you to demand all of them be fired. I would like for you to ask for that. Or for them to be impeached. Or, which personally I think should happen. but we need to focus on Hegseth. You know, because Trump wants to own the libs by not firing him. All right? Fine. You don't want to fire him? Let's impeach him. We'll get him out of there. Let's make it happen, people. I'll catch you next time.